everyone, welcome back to Sisters Corner. I'm Anita, and as always, I'm here with my amazing sister.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. My name is Esther, and we are so happy to have you here. So today, our topic is all about finding contentment as single mothers.
To start off, let's talk about what contentment means to us as single mothers. For me, contentment is about finding peace and happiness in the present moment. What do you think, sis?
Yes, I agree. I think for me, contentment is about embracing the journey of being a single mom, finding joy in the everyday and all the little pieces of happiness that comes into the day that looks big and bleak for a lot of single moms. There are so many different strategies that you can use to help you to gain contentment. And I think when it comes to it, gratitude has to be one of the biggest one. Being grateful for what you have got and where you see yourself going in the future is really important. Another thing that I actually learned from you, sis, is journaling. That has absolutely helped me to find the joy, especially in those really difficult days. So that's a couple of the things that I normally do. So how do you go about that?
I tend to practice mindfulness. As a mental health nurse, I do that with my patients, and that has also helped me to stay grounded. I also listen to a lot of music to help me find contentment. And there are so many things when it comes to contentment I do just so that I have sanity.
Yes. And do you listen to just any kind of music?
Yes, I do. I listen to any kind of music. I can listen to reggae, I can listen to hip hop, any song that I find sense in. It doesn't matter. Although I'm a Christian, I'm not limited to certain type of music. If it's speaking sense to me, I would listen to it.
You know what? I'm a little bit like you, sis, but for me, I think it depends on what I'm going through in the moment. That will determine the kind of music that I'm listening to. Sometimes, you will be having such a great time and you'll be very happy, and so I'll have some hip hop on or some R&B that I'll be singing along to it. And sometimes your hearts get so heavy, and so I will have to put on some gospel music just to help to lighten the load for me a little bit. So yes, music is definitely a great therapy when it comes to finding contentment in the everyday. I think one other thing as well that we have to kind of like mention is the people around us.
A community.
Yes, and how they support us. So what do you have to share on that?
I have a very big community. My church, I count them as part of my community. My family and friends, I count them as part of my community. But friends, I'm a bit skeptical when it comes to friends, because some friends, they just listen to you for listening's sake. They wouldn't even offer any practical advice. And some friends too, they can't relate to what you are telling them. So it feels like you've called them just to talk about your problems to them. They can't relate to it. So when I speak to friends who are in the same situation as me, it brings me some kind of relief that I'm not alone in this. And speaking to you, obviously you are my sister. We talking every day about our challenges and our situations also helps me find contentment.
Absolutely. I mean, we are in the same situation, and so we understand each other more. But I do agree as well that sometimes some friends that you have will not understand your situation. But I think, sis, having to go through separation from your children's father and all of that, it really showcases who your friends are. And I think it has really kind of like revealed to me the people who are there for me. And I've got a friend who, even though she's not in the same situation that I am in, she understands everything that I'm going through. She can relate to it really, really well. And she's able to kind of like give me the sounding board that sometimes you need. And obviously, as I said, having you there is incredible. Having family members as well who helps you in the everyday is also, again, really, really incredible. So finding your people, your community, and those who are kind of like there and being as your support is really, really important, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apart from my community, there are some personal things that I do. You mentioned earlier about journaling, and I also find peace in writing, like writing poems. The moment I grab a pen and a paper, the words flow because they are coming from a very deep place. So when I'm able to come up with a poem and I edit and read all over again, it speaks to me. And then I'm able to know that, oh, that is a very good introspection I have done in this poem. And yeah, it's sometimes helped me with my day. When I go to work, I try to read some of my poems to set me off for the day. And when it comes to community, as you said earlier, not all friends will
understand.
Believe you me, there are single mothers out there as well who wouldn't also understand the situation.
No, they wouldn't, because they're not in the same kind of like level or category that you are in.
And what I've come to realize that in this UK, single mothers have a very bad tag.
Absolutely.
So
they think you became single because you want benefits.
Not benefit per se. I didn't want to be a single mother.
Nobody.
I always say this to my friends that I wouldn't wish this for my worst enemy. I do co-parent with my ex-partner, but the majority of it is on me. I didn't want this. Growing up, I had always wanted a stable home because when I was growing up, mom was already out of the country. And in the Akan tribe, they would say, you can't be brought up by your dad. So I was all over the place in Ghana, and I didn't want this for myself. So going through a separation with my kids, not having a father figure in the house, it got me thinking. So it's been a journey, and it's been a journey of reflection, of introspection, and also, if I tell you that there's kind of things that I have done just so I could get this sanity, you would question me. You would say, sis, are you crazy?
And you know what? I absolutely 100% believe you, because I've probably done pretty much all of them as well. Because, you know, as a single mom, when you first become a single mother, you are trying to find yourself again, because you were a unit, and now you've had to separate from that unit, and so you have to find out who you are, what makes you happy, what makes you the person that you are. And so there are a lot of different things that you will do or try to do to gain a certain level of contentment. But then as time goes on, you find ways that actually help in giving you that contentment. And I would say that, you know, there are certain levels of practices that I do now that gives me a lot more joy than what I used to do before. So, for example, you know, creating a little spa at home for myself, that gives me a lot of contentment, a lot of joy, being able to be present with myself in my own home and not outside, now brings me a lot more joy than, you know, the other ways that I used to try and find contentment and happiness when I first became a single mom.
So there are so many things that we can do as single mothers. Can do stuff with our children. For me, seeing my children grow and also overcoming challenges together as family brings me contentment. Those 3 kids, sometimes they can be a workload. They can. Those 3 are a workload. But at the end of the day, my second daughter, she comes to my room and she says, "Good night, mommy. Love you." And it kinds of bring me some joy. I'm like, wow, after all this, you still come to me and say, "Good night, love you, mommy." There is some sense of contentment there.
Absolutely, because we are all they've got.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think a friend of mine once said to me, she said, these children, they see
Yeah, they do.
our struggles and they do recognize it.
Yeah.
And so the love that they have for us, whether we've had a difficult day, a challenging day, that love is going to stay static.
Yeah.
Because we are all they've got and they are all we've got. And so, you know, I think when you said about doing things with them really gives you joy. It does.
Yeah, it
Like
does.
things like baking cookies. I mean, Nevia absolutely love baking cookies. And so I have to now buy bags of cookies, mixes and things like that to bake because I mean, goodness knows that nobody likes baking. You know, doing those little things and then having that little good night, mom, or you know, a hug to say good night in the morning. Her coming into my room, good morning, mom. How are you today? Aww. It really does bring you joy and contentment, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. So, to our listeners,
yes,
what are some of the things that you do that brings you joy and contentment? Would like to share this with our fellow single mothers, and we know that listening to us, you have all the ideas. Anything that you do that brings you joy and contentment, don't be afraid to send us messages and also comment on our videos with your ideas on and everything that you do about joy and contentment. And to those out there, to our fellow single mothers out there as well, if you don't have a community, please find one. Even if you have just one friend that will listen to you, that will be there for you, it is much better than being on your own.
And sometimes
don't try to form, I'm a strong woman, I'm a strong woman. No, every strong woman needs someone with them. We are not saying you should go into a relationship just to form a strong woman.
No.
You can have friends who are male or female who would help you, because this is a very, very tough journey and we've got you covered. My sister and I have got you covered. And I tell you, we both have our bad days.
Absolutely.
If we are to tell you about our bad days, you would.
Yes, so our community, we will encourage you to leave your comments underneath the little video for us. Share how you find joy, the little things that you do, because somebody may be able to pick some of those up and it will help them to also find contentment. Thank you so much for joining us today. We can't wait to see you again next time.
And I have a poem to share with you. This poem is a poem that I wrote when I was reflecting on my life. And you would all agree with me that sometimes we tend not to find light at the end of the tunnel, and life can be very, very overbearing. So this poem is titled Beacon of Hope. I hope it brings you some joy and contentment. It brings you some encouragement. Are we ready to listen to my poem?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, Beacon of Hope. When in doubt, hold on to hope. When in pain, hold on to hope. Smile with hope, cry with hope. Hope may be closer than you think. A light in the darkness, a whisper in the silence. Don't limit yourself, for like an eagle, you can soar higher. Breathe deeply and rejuvenate your heart, soul, and body. Today may be the tomorrow you are hoping for. Embrace each moment with the belief that hope can turn the tides of despair. Let it guide you through the storm, a beacon shining bright, leading you home. Even in the darkest hours, hope is a flame that never dies. It fuels your spirit, strengthens your resolve, and reminds you that you are never alone. So hold on to hope, for it is the promise of a brighter day. With hope in your heart, you can conquer any challenge and rise above it. And you know what, darling? You are a God.
Wow, that was absolutely beautiful. We hope that you find some joy and some hope in that beautiful poem. Thank you, sis.
Until next time,
Thank
see
you.
you. Bye,
Bye.
everyone.